Welcome to today's 5 Good Minutes on the 10 Commandments. Today we'll be considering the 5th commandment with Bjorklund.
So honor your father and mother. One of the first questions that comes when we hear this command is, but what if I have dishonorable parents? What if my parents weren't worthy of honor? What if they were absent? What if they were abusive? What if they were harsh? What if they were incompetent? What if they were irresponsible? What if my parents were hurtful in the things that they said and did over the course of my life? Do I need to honor my parents if they were those parents? Now, the easy answer is that the 10 Commandments don't qualify this statement. They don't say, honor your father and mother if your parents were honorable. And so, in one sense, the question is not really that important because we're not called to say, decide if your parents were honorable enough and give them honor in accordance with how much they were honorable. We're just simply called to honor our parents. But on a more practical level, it's a very pertinent question because if you've been hurt, if you have a lifetime of hardship, it is very difficult to say, I'm going to speak well of you and with my actions choose to honor you. And so what becomes important is understanding two things. One, as maybe you've heard before, if you're in the military, you're called to salute the uniform, not necessarily the person in the uniform. In other words, give honor to the person who has the position, whether or not they are honorable. Now, again, that isn't super helpful if you've had really dishonorable parents. But I think it's a helpful way to just simply say, okay, I'm called to honor them in the position. Secondly, it's important to understand that honor does not mean that there are no boundaries, that there are no limits, and that you don't speak truth. Sometimes if we think about honor and we say, well, it means that I don't speak negatively about something or someone, I think it can make us feel like, well, then I don't have any way to speak truth. But if you've been in a relationship where somebody has been dishonorable, speaking truth is sometimes a way to freedom if you've been the victim in that relationship. And I don't think that it's a violation of this command to say, I am going to speak truth to my parents and in appropriate settings about my parents. And having boundaries is clearly, both in the Bible and in life, something that is essential to healthy relationships. If you don't establish boundaries and your idea of honoring your parents is, I must do for them whatever it is they ask, if you have a parent who's dishonorable, they could just simply take and take and take. And so being able to say, I must find what it is to actually honor them at each phase of life that I'm in. But that doesn't mean that I don't have boundaries, I don't have limits. Limits and boundaries are healthy and good and right, and it doesn't mean that you've been dishonoring to your parents if you say no to your parents from time to time when they ask for something. Sometimes, in fact, a good way to honor your parents is to say, I am going to let you figure that out because you are at a certain point of life where you can do that. And so I don't know, obviously, the situation that you've come from, but I know almost every person who's been brought up in any home has some hurts from their parents. And if you simply say, I'm going to choose not to honor my parents because they're not honorable, I believe that you miss what God says here, which is honor your parents, and I promise you that I'm going to let it go well with you, basically, in the land. I'm going to do something in your life that even if they weren't honorable is good in your world and in your life.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to check out all our content and podcasts on Orchard Hill Plus. You can find that and so much more on our website or the Orchard Hill app.